All right, we are back here at Team One Toyota of Gadsden Rainbow City here with a very special guest, and I'm gonna let this young lady introduce herself at this time.
Hi, I'm Cornelius. I am one of the BDC Internet Managers here at Team One Toyota.
How you doing today, first of all?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. This is as good a weather as we could possibly have out here today. One of these days you could leave the doors open, so it's
hopefully soon.
Absolutely. So before we get started, I always like to talk about people's past, where they were born, where they grew up. What did that look like for you?
So I grew up out in Tampa, Florida, in a small town right outside of Tampa. Great. I have 2 older brothers. I have my mom and dad. Beach, tropical, funness, everything was great. And then I decided once I was ready for college, I wanted a different scenery. So I moved out to Oxford and went to Jacksonville State University.
So you JSU grad?
I did not grad.
Okay.
I did not graduate, but I do pretty close to American Sign Language interpreting still and all of that fun stuff.
Big difference between Tampa, Florida and Oxford, Alabama, or where we're sitting right now in Gadsden, Alabama.
Yes.
What would you say is the biggest difference?
Southern hospitality is a real thing, and I tell people that all the time. I love the environment that's out here. I love the weather. I love the people. Easy to talk to. Everyone's super friendly, opens doors, things like that. So I'm glad to be out here finally.
Absolutely, no doubt. So what was it when you went to school and graduated? Did you start out in a position with a car dealership, or what kind of jobs did you have between now and then?
So once I was done with JSU, I became a mom, and
That's a job all in itself.
It is, absolutely. And I was super young when I did it, and don't recommend doing that. But I am a freelance photographer,
Gotcha.
So I did that for about 4 or 5 years. Loved it, great hobby, my passion. And then Team One Toyota ended up having a photography position open, and I said, this is great to get back into a field of a career, and so I went ahead and just took it.
Gotcha, no doubt. What did you learn when you was doing photography? Because I have multiple photographers at Average Joe's where, when I started, and I'm not one of them, but just talking to them, there's so much about a picture, there's so much about images, editing and stuff like that, that I do not understand. What was it that kind of made you attracted to doing it?
So my cup of tea in photography is couples and engagement and weddings.
Okay.
And I love to have your love documented through photos. And I'm a very active, all motions, let's run around, let's pick up, let's spin. I want it all. And I love to be able to capture who you love as a person, who your partner is as a person, and combining those two. And I love to be able to capture those. That was my main goal when I started photography.
No doubt. Certain people have an eye for it. Certain people do not. I'm in the do not category. Did you understand that you had that at early on, or what was it was there a time where there's a certain picture you took or something, you was like, hey, that looks pretty good. Let me look into doing this.
So oddly enough, my grandparents had lived in Oxford my entire life.
Okay.
And my grandfather was a preacher at a church, and one of the prominent family members was getting married, and she looked at me when I was about 15 years old and said, take my camera and take as many pictures as you can around the wedding. And that was my first wedding I ever did as whatever amateur, whatever you want to call it, hobbyist, whatever. And from then it grew the passion. And I took about 2 or 3 years to kind of gather myself. And I was more of like an iPhone type of indie girl, like
Got you.
Horses and like landscape, things like that.
Which can still look good though.
Yes, it does. And then once I moved out here and I got with my husband and met crowds around the area, I said, you know what, this might be a good time to go ahead and start, and that's what I ended up doing. And I shot her brother's wedding about 2 years ago. So it was almost full circle that one of the weddings I've started with that created a passion is also the same family that I finished one of my last weddings with.
Awesome. So now, what point did you get in contact with Team One Toyota, or how did that all happen?
So my husband and...
So you applied for a photographer's job here?
Yes.
Right, okay. And then go ahead and take it from there.
So my husband and Sean Musso, which is our GM here at Team One, his daughter went to high school together.
Okay.
So they were super close. They had posted needing a automotive photographer. And I looked at my husband, I said, I need you to contact Sean and I need you to get me in. I want to take that position. I was kind of to the point where I was stuck at being home all the time with a toddler. I was working for my own self, and people that run small businesses know that there's no free time. And so at some point I decided that I need to have time with my family, and I needed time to myself and outside of just a business as just a photographer. And I thought this was a good way to do it. And so a year ago yesterday is when I actually started here at Team One Toyota.
So 1 year.
1 year.
How did you transition over into your role that you're in now?
So it was approached to me, asked if I wanted to step into the sales department of the dealership, and one of the easier access to sales is on our internet side, and I thought that would be a great way to go ahead and start my career off in sales, is starting at the bottom and figuring my way out to then achieve the next level.
Gotcha.
So I went ahead and I told Sean, I said, I'm ready to go.
So you're wanting to eventually transition over into sales full time?
Yes, correct.
What like your day-to-day duties here now, what does that look like?
So I'm one of the first points of contacts for customers. So if you go online and you look at one of our vehicles or to Toyota's website or Carfax, or you're looking to trade any of those, I'm one of your first points of contacts. I will reach out to you. Hey, how are you? I see that you're interested in either trading, purchasing something new. When is the best time to get you up here so we can give you your best options and price?
Gotcha. So you set appointments, things like that?
Correct.
So what have you learned? You've worked multiple positions here. Some of the key aspects you've learned about the business overall by working two different positions now?
That everyone's a team. It relies on more than just one person. So as a photographer, you don't think that it seems like a big position here at the dealership, but those are the first things that people look at when they go to your website.
Absolutely.
So that was the first structure of basis that I knew that if I could get our store immediately up with pictures, that makes the rest of the team easier.
Absolutely.
So the same way now, I now help my team out by setting them appointments and getting people here so that they can sell and do their job, and they don't have to worry about that position of getting someone here.
Bringing someone in is a lot easier than waiting for the door to swing.
Correct.
100%, yeah.
Absolutely.
I've been in sales such as this before. I was a sales trainer at Verizon over the whole state of Alabama, and that's what I lived off of, and I'm explaining that to our reps. Like, if you sit here and wait on the door to swing, but you're also going to be the first one to complain about money, or you can go out there and make the door swing and make as much money as you want.
Absolutely.
So I love that approach. What is it about Team One Toyota here? I know you've said it's family oriented, and it's team oriented, that's kind of stuck out to you. I mean, this place is special. I've purchased 2 cars here myself, so I say that in almost all the testimonies, because it's seriously the place to purchase a car, and you have the best cars in the market, in my opinion, in Toyota. But from your experience being here, what's so special about this place?
Our entire atmosphere. I mean, you walk in and everyone is happy, everyone is smiling. You're never gonna meet a face that's upset. Now, we can't make everyone happy, we can't make every deal possible, but that doesn't mean we don't try to get that for you guys. Our goal is to make sure that you leave here the happiest that you've ever had, the best experience you've ever had, and we want to be able to be a part of that experience. And then your experience is the same as ours, and you leave just as happy as we are here.
It definitely makes sense. Now, there was probably some big shoes to fill. Do y'all have someone in that role with the photography role now?
We do, and she's great.
Do you trust them? Okay.
I do. I love her.
Usually photographers critique each other.
Yeah, well, listen, I've gotten that several times, you know, how I feel about her angles and things like that. But you know what? She's great. I'm glad that I was able to find someone to take it over, and I don't have to worry about going behind her and trying to make sure that nothing's missed.
Yeah, because that's kind of like a child of yours, a baby of yours. You don't want it messed up, so that's good that you guys have someone good in that role.
Yes.
Yeah, I see my photographers within my own company, like one of them say something about the other. I don't like the way they edit. I'm like, hey guys, teamwork. You got to be teamwork.
And listen,
here.
when you work in a scenario like that, because photography is so creative that no one's pictures or editing style is going to be the exact same, no matter which way you look at it.
It's like music, different taste.
Different taste. You're never going to, and people too. You know, you're not going to like every single person that you make contact with, but that doesn't mean that you can't have some sort of relationship with them.
Absolutely. Now, you guys here, another question or two before I let you get out of here. You guys here do a phenomenal job, I think. Not only just, it's not just the buying process, you know, it's the whole process of buying. It could be trading in, but then the relationships just started there. I mean, the service is excellent. You know, you guys call and follow up. I've had guys take me home when I didn't have to sit in here all day when you guys are working on the car. But just talk about that. This is just the purchasing process is just the beginning of the relationship here.
Correct. So once you have purchased the vehicle, we will keep in contact with you for your birthdays, for your anniversaries of purchasing. We will contact you for service appointments, reminders, any open recalls, anything that we feel like you need to know about your vehicle, we will reach out. It's more than just that. We also add you guys on Facebook so that way you can see our lives just as much as we see your lives. We like to know about your children. We've had people come in and they've had infants, and 4 years later they come in and then now they have a 4-year-old, and it's almost wild to think about that within 4 years someone still appreciates you enough to come back, purchase from you, and now you're watching their children grow as if they're family.
I call those in the sales world, I would call them advocates. The reason being is they're walking billboards for you because the service they've received here, they're going to go tell everybody they see. That's an advocate, that's a friend, that's someone who's going to fight for you because you've fought for them and done them a service that they can't get in any other place.
Right.
Before I let you get out of here, if I fast forward this 1 year from now, we talked about 4 years a second ago, but 1 year from now, and you believe you're going to be on the sales team and rolling, what do you think your biggest hurdle to get there is personally? Kind of diving within yourself there, looking in the mirror.
You know, I'm going to be honest, it's my own probably my own hurdle of being able to accomplish it.
Gotcha.
Something so big.
A mental hurdle.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And it has nothing to do that I don't think that I can't do it.
Gotcha.
It has everything to do with the fact that I want to be successful. I don't want to set myself up for failure.
Gotcha.
So I want to have the best outcome possible. I will say this though, I couldn't ask for a better management staff to set me up for that success.
Gotcha.
Because they will guide me to the destination that I need to get to without having to worry about any of the small obstacles, any bumps in the road. I know that I can trust them and they'll lead me down the correct way of getting there. I don't know, I really don't.
Hey, what I'm gathering from what you're saying though, you're going to personally cross every T, dot every I, make sure it's done correctly to get there.
Yes, a job is done correctly in one way or another, and in order to get there, you have to make sure that all T's are crossed and all I's are dotted.
I love it. Hey, that's the type of people that usually are successful. The ones that's driven, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Not motivated. Motivated people will be motivated for a while. Driven, they'll stop at nothing, whatever's
Gas
in front
will
of them.
come out at some point, you know?
That's right.
But you don't need gas if you got power.
That's right.
Just keep going.
That's it. You just keep rolling. Hey, I appreciate you sitting in with us, spending some time with us. Sorry I ran this one over a little bit, but I'm really enjoying the conversation. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.